Today we're going to be talking about how quarterbacks can get 3,000 yards passing this season. Now, to have a successful season, to get a lot of passing yards, you guys, completions are key, obviously. If we're not completing the ball, we have a low completion percentage, you're never going to be able to get to that 3,000 yard mark of passing, even 2,000 yards. I see a lot of high school quarterbacks watch a lot of game tape, watch a lot of film, go to a lot of games, and quarterbacks are like throwing like 40% completion percentage, 50% completion percentage, and that's not good, you guys. You need to be shooting for 60, 70, 80%. 80% is a little bit extreme, but 60 to 70 should be your bread and butter, especially as a high school quarterback. Because guys, the defensive coverages that you see as a quarterback in high school are really not that complicated. You're gonna be seeing cover 4, cover 3, cover 2, cover 1, cover 0, non-complicated stuff. You're not seeing a lot of different blitz packages, you're not seeing the most disguised coverages, so it's easy to read a defense, you guys. But most importantly, you have to know your playbook and what your playbook is trying to accomplish. So that has to tie in with the coverage. Sometimes a lot of quarterbacks, I watched a game the other night where a player was not taking the easy throws, where he would take a drop back, take a 3-step drop, he'd be in rhythm, he could hit a simple post route, but he would want to scramble around and try to make some type of highlight play. And the issue with that, you guys, is that those plays are lower percentage throws. Sometimes you got to take the easy one. You can't go broke taking a profit. So you have to understand your playbook and defensive coverages. So when I say understand your playbook, that means understanding what each passing concept is trying to accomplish. So if I have a passing concept, let's say my outside receiver, I'll give you a simple one, is running a slant, and my slot receiver is running a bubble screen. That play is trying to isolate a specific defender, which would be the outside linebacker. If that outside backer crashes on the bubble, I'm throwing the slant right there. Now, if we get cover 2, that means the corner's sitting in the flats, outside backer plays hook to curl, that play's screwed. But maybe on this side, I have a cover 2 beater, like a 5-yard out and a fade. So I see that pre-snap, it's cover 2, I'm not going over here. I'm gonna go over to this side of the field so I can complete the ball, get positive yardage, and that is the first step that you need to be able to pass for 3,000 yards. Now also, fellas, if you are a quarterback or receiver watching this and you would like to train with myself and my staff of coaches this offseason, we're coming out to 15 different states across the U.S. for 2-day-long QB and wide receiver camps. So guys, check out that very first link in the description below if you would like to sign up. We're going to be coming out to San Francisco, California, Orlando, Florida, Phoenix, Arizona, Charlotte, North Carolina, Austin, Texas. Then we'll be heading out to Las Vegas, Nevada, Seattle, Washington, Chicago, Illinois, Newark, New Jersey, Birmingham, Alabama, Houston, Texas, Boston, Massachusetts, Columbus, Ohio, Boise, Idaho, and finishing off our tour in Los Angeles, California. So guys, all of these camps last year, every single one of them sold out, and we had to turn a lot of people away. We hope we don't have to turn as many of you away that tried to sign up last year. So make sure you sign up, very first link in that description below, so you don't miss out on our camps. Now, the second thing that's going to help you pass for 3,000 plus yards as a quarterback is timing. Guys, a lot of young quarterbacks don't understand how important timing is, especially when you're facing a lot of different zone coverages like cover 3, cover 4 as a QB. So let's talk about some different timing mistakes that I see quarterbacks make. Let's say I'm throwing like a 10-yard out from my slot receiver on the right side of the field. Usually as a quarterback, my drop on that is going to either be a shuffle throw or a rhythm 3-step. So for example, let's talk about a shuffle throw. So that would be set go. And the reason why I go over the shuffle is because so many college offenses nowadays and high school offenses emphasize the shuffle or don't even necessarily care about the shuffle. If I was coaching a team of players and let's say I had a quarterback, I would have him shuffle on every drop because I feel like your base is already there. But essentially what it would be is you'd catch the snap, you'd shuffle, and you'd throw, right? And then if you were doing a 3-step, which is a little bit more traditional, you'd catch the snap, 1, 2, 3, and you would throw. And you have to get to balance on that back leg. A lot of QBs don't work that enough. So what they'll do is they'll take a 3-step drop, hitch up, wait, okay, he's open, now they throw it. And if we're throwing a timing route like a 10-yard out, a bang 8 post, which is a quick post, or maybe even a fade, and your feet aren't tied up with the route, guys, you're gonna be late, and being late on throws leads to more turnovers, and it leads to more incomplete passes, which obviously will drive our completion percentage down and drive our passing yards down. So you have to understand what drop is required on every single play. How I would study a playbook, you guys, is I would have a set of plays, right? I would have the name of the play on one side, I would do note cards. Other side of it, I would have my whole play drawn up, that's what I would have to remember, and I would have my responsibilities as a quarterback. Okay, I'm taking a 3-step drop. Okay, my second read, I'm gonna hitch to it. And I would have all those mechanical aspects or footwork aspects so I know what to do when I'm faced with that situation in a game. Now, the third thing that you have to focus on, which ties into obviously knowing your playbook, knowing coverages, throwing with timing, is accuracy, you guys. So one tip that I can give quarterbacks, because I got a lot of quarterbacks that ask me, like, Coach, I'm struggling to hit throws, I'm being consistent with my throws. The best piece of advice I ever got from a quarterback coach as a player was try to drive the ball to the upfield number of the wide receivers. Like a lot of times quarterbacks, like, and honestly, especially if you're new to the position, they struggle with like where where to look. And I never really thought of that as a player. Like naturally, because I always played quarterback from the time I was young, you just kind of look at a receiver and throw it. But it's pretty bad advice, right? I can't just tell you that, like, hey, just look over there and throw it. Something that helped me when I was struggling with accuracy is I would try to key in on the jersey number on the front of a wide receiver. So like, for example, if I'm throwing like a quick slant, I'm not just throwing it to a spot. I see the number and I'm trying to drive the ball on that number. And if you could kind of rep that out in practice when you're doing routes versus air, different drill work, that's going to help you build a good habit of accurate throws. And obviously accuracy drives completions up, drives your yardage up, and that could lead you to that 3,000 yard mark. Now, the next thing that is going to help you be a way more consistent quarterback is going to be your base in the pocket. Anytime that I train a quarterback, I don't care how old they are, they could be 8 years old or they could be 18 years old. We always start with the feet. We always start with the base because the base is the foundation. But when you're in the pocket, you guys, and I'm going to give you a great drill to work on this type of stuff, we should always be in a ready position to throw, because the quarterback position, and I know that seems like common sense, but let me explain. Like the quarterback position is a lot like it's not scripted. You know what I mean? Like on a specific play, we talked about timing earlier in this video. You take a 3-step drop and you let it rip off the 3rd step. It is extremely rare in a high school offense, even a college offense, even an NFL offense, that you're going to take the prescribed drop and throw on your first read every single time. What usually happens, you guys? Somebody's covered or we're getting pressure. So if you're in the pocket and you have a really bad base and you're getting pressure, you're going to have to move, and then you're going to have to get set, and then you're going to have to throw, and that takes extra time. And as we know, when we're late on throws, that leads to more turnovers, leads to more incompletions, and drives our passing yards obviously down. We're not playing a consistent game. So what we have to do, you guys, anytime that I'm moving in the pocket, I have to keep weight loaded onto my back leg. The perfect base, you guys, in my opinion, is 60 to 70% on your back leg. Your foot, knee, and armpit are all lined up on top of each other. I call that getting stacked. And when you move in the pocket, I want to maintain that base so I could throw from any platform to get the ball to my receivers and be able to operate back here in the pocket with great pocket presence. Pocket presence is one of the main things that all top-level quarterbacks need to have.